Yo, what's up, dudes? It's VS Hero. I was gonna do the intro, but out of nowhere,
Fuck you, Kato! Hey, everybody, this is Gangster in 7, joined today by,
VS Hero.
and we're gonna do a Jarren Benton Slow Motion Volume 2 album review. And I wanted to put the disclaimer at the start of the video, and I wanted to say I'm not an idiot. I actually do listen to Jarren Benton. I'm not a bum. I've listened to Free Basement with Kevin Bacon, Huffing Glue with David Hasselhoff, the Grandmother Basement album, and Slow Motion Volume 1. So I'm not just some idiot who listened to the Jarren Benton for the first time. Here, what's your backstory on Jarren, by the way?
I have listened to his other albums. I've listened to Free Basement with Kevin Bacon. I've listened to Grandma's Basement, and I've listened to Slow Motion Volume 1.
What about
I've
Huffing
listened to
Glue
all
with
those, so
Hasselhoff?
I have not heard that album start to finish yet.
It's a good mixtape. You should definitely listen to it. All right, so and then I also wanted to mention that there's two things I also want to mention. I wanted to talk about how this album surprised me. He gave us more than I've ever expected. This is not Jarren Benton from the mixtape. This is a lot more Jarren Benton with the album Grandmother Basement album mixed with Slow Motion Volume 1. So that was a really good surprise. And I also wanted to mention how you can really tell that Jarren is still in a crazy place emotionally, dealing with the Hopsin and Funk Volume split. And that comes through on almost every verse mentions something to do with Hopsin or Funk Volume. And that was really fucking interesting.
Yeah, he's still in that struggle of the whole Funk Volume thing, plus, blowing up, getting famous, money, women, drugs, stuff like that. He's in a crazy place emotionally, and you hear it in a lot of songs.
And not only that, I just realized this now, you can tell this is a real person. Because he raps and he talks about it like in the lyrics that like a normal person would. He's constantly introspective. He's constantly thinking about how this is affecting his life, how his life's changing based on this, dealing with friendships. Like it's all just internalization outward. And it's just really, and it's not really refined like to a crisp writing style. It's just like Jarren Benton music. It's crazy. It's all over the place. You never know what you're gonna get. One second he's gonna talk about coming on a neck. The next second he's gonna talk about something sad. I mean, that shit was really fucking dope, and it's really cool the way this album came together. But here you are.
Yeah, I was not expecting. I was not expecting that this album to get this deep. Like I wasn't when I started listening to it. When I listened to Slow Motion intro, it was just your typical Jarren all up in your face, and then halfway through the album, he just gets like you said, you don't know what you're gonna get. One minute he's coming on a neck, the next second he's just deep as fuck into some real shit, and you're like, damn.
So speaking of the intro, that was the first song on the album. What was it? Kato produced it.
Produced by Kato, yes.
And
Scratches by DJ Hoppa.
At the fucking end of the song. But I mean, you have any takeaways from that song other than fuck you, Kato?
Beat. Fuck you. Yeah, this pussy real familiar. Oh, that's Kato's mom. Hello, Kato's mom.
Standout
But no,
punchlines by Jarren.
the intro is dope as fuck. The beat is amazing.
Beat slumps.
And it's just your typical Jarren in your face lyrics. It's dope. It's fucking dope.
So,
Any thoughts on your part, Aaron?
No, just that, this had a music video. I remember watching it, downloading it. I thought that it was a great song. It was a great, just a little slumper to go into. And that's another thing is based on like the singles from the album. I didn't expect it to get as deep as it goes on from here. What's the second song, Hero?
What the fuck is you talking about?
Who's produced by?
And it was produced by Justin Padron.
Some guy I've never heard of.
Me either.
But you like this song, so what are some of the things about it that you liked?
I like this song. It's another slumper as most of the songs on this album. But he's talking about, people dissing him. He's like, what you talking about, bro? We over here making money, fucking bitches. Shit like that. And I like the song. It's not as lyrical as the other songs, but it's just something you can listen to in a car, and I like it.
Said Netflix and chill, bitch. I came for sex, and she don't swallow cum, so I came on her neck.
So I came on her neck. Words from the wise.
I mean,
if she doesn't swallow your semen demon, come on her neck.
So this is a 2-verse song with a not a hook that I was care for, and it was a little bit more of a slow flow. So that's why I really didn't care for this song. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just not my style. So, but the third song off the album featuring Dizzy Wright, C. Rudd, The Kid, and Graf, and produced by Rockin' Main. He worked with him before. I've seen his production before, but I do not like this fucking hook at all. Hero, agree?
You didn't like What a Difference hook?
Yeah, because he's like, whip it in the kitchen, or like skirt or something like that. He says something stupid, some ad lib, and that really annoyed me. But whatever, because it just doesn't feel like it
I don't
fits
know.
on the subject matter or any of that shit.
Well, I can agree with you. It doesn't feel like it fits with the subject matter, but I don't have any beef with the hook. I thought the hook was fine. Um,
And
the
then
beat was amazing as always, and
I didn't really care for Graph's verse. I usually skip it, but I mean, I'm still in the early stages listening to the album. I thought Dizzy dropped a dope fucking hook, and I think that the Dizzy dick riders will be happy with it, and the Dizzy haters will be still hating on it. Like, it really seems like either people hate Dizzy or they love him. So I always find that funny. But I thought he was
I
fine.
just know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people in the comment section are on that Dizzy Wright dick, but I know a lot of people were just happy to see Funk Volume dudes still getting on tracks together.
Yeah, yeah. I really liked the Richard Hamilton line. I thought that was dope because I used to watch basketball. I used to be a Pistons fan, so I thought that was fucking cool ass line. And Dizzy's wordplay was really fucking good in it. Like he had a lot of good ones where like there was like it was a double time style. He had a lot of rhymes in it, and I thought that was really good. And I just thought he killed his verse on it. And the beat goes fucking in, man. Rock of Maine also produced what was it, Cowboys and Cadillac or Chevys and Cadillacs, I believe. And so like he produces great fucking beats. And this was another one that was a big standout too from this album. Is the beats? The beats are really fucking good, man.
The beats are really good. Moving on to number 4, No Fucks to Give, featuring Futuristic and Chris Webby, produced by Analogic.
Yeah, another
Once
producer.
again, beat
Nice.
dope as fuck.
There's a lot to say about this song because he leads it off with what happened to Funk Volume, and he says, "Ain't no more Funk Volume. All you guys get is Mr. Benton." And because he kind of went independent during the Funk Volume split, apparently is what I've been able to gather from this album and shit. And he kills it, and it's dope verses. But for me, the standout is Chris Webby. I'm gonna suck Chris Webby's dick for a little bit right now. He fucking his fucking shit on it. He makes a reference to Peaky Blinders, Spyro, bunch of shit on this. He says, "Where is it? I was pacing around my studio, punching the walls and the floor like a psycho. Then channeling my energy, and I dropped Webby's lap too. Now I'm back on my pyro with the fire like Spyro." Man, and then he goes, it's just amazing, man. I love seeing all the different references. I get goosebumps when I hear Chris Webby go through the emotional struggle that he said he was going through. He talks about how, what was it, he moved somewhere, he started losing his money, and then he got in the studio and he wasn't happy with the writing process, and then like it just something clicked, and he was spitting shit, and he's like he saw the smoke come off the speaker wires. Like I was just like, oh. It is a really fucking dope verse from Chris Webby, man. I can't get enough of it.
Is it No Fucks to Give where Jarren says, whose team am I on? Dame or Hop, I'll kill them both. Just name the spot.
No, I think that's
Is that No Fucks to Give?
um, no, I think it's a later song actually. I think it's Smash or Scared or something. But and then Futuristic, I've never really cared for him, but he dropped a fine verse. He referenced that he's been down with Jarren Benton since 2011. I felt like that was like a little stretch. I was like, it's only 2011, dude. It was only 5 years ago, man. It's not that long ago. But Futuristic thinks it is. And then Futuristic makes a reference to, what was it, Hitler and Germans, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit of a. What are you talking about? I just thought that was a bit of hyperbole that just felt awkward.
Moving on to number 5, Smash,
This has been
produced
a
by M16, featuring
Gladys
L Jenkins. L
M6
Jenkins.
M16 has been producing his ass off lately. He produced for Yellow Wolf on a Yellow Wolf mixtape, The Heart of Dixie, and you should go listen to that one, Hero. I don't know if you heard that. There's an
I
M16
don't
beats
listen to
on
too much
that.
Yellow Wolf, so no, I
Yeah,
haven't heard
that
this.
mixtape had some dope songs. One was produced by M16 always stuck out, and M16 I can't remember. He produced something else recently, and it was really fucking dope. And I like his beats have been getting better in my opinion. And this fucking song just goes fucking hard, man. It's one of those get amped up songs, and the hook gets you pumped. And this is a fucking great song. And I also like
Exactly.
I'm waiting for him to get sued because of that Mario sample when he says he's popping out the gutter like Mario, and all you hear is doot doot doot, like the Mario sound effect. That shit was hilarious. Surprised he got to do that.
Smash is dope. Beat fucking phenomenal. Just like Aaron said, that pump you up, get you going song. The
Oh,
hook's really good. I like the hook.
this is the song where he says, "Whose side am I on?" Just thought that was a bit of hyperbole. That was just felt awkward.
Uh,
Dame or Hop. I'll murder both of them dudes on the just name the spot.
Yeah,
You know.
that line, I was like, shit. First time I heard that line, because like, you remember I posted it in the kick chat, and you were like, yeah, Jarren a badass. Jarren don't give no fucks. I mean, he later in the song, he said, no, I still got love for both my dudes. But still, that line, bro. I mean, Smash made me want to do the dab too, so I'm gonna do the dab. Is that all you gotta say about Smash, Aaron?
Just this is a song that I listen to regularly, and this chunk of the album is really fucking good. And it's just a go hard part, and is usually what I lean on at the start, is listening to these same songs over and over again. And Smash is getting filtered into the rotation, and so is the next song. It's getting filtered into the songs I usually listen to every time.
Are we skipping Bobby and Whitney then?
No, Bobby and Whitney, man. I work it in a little bit. I mean, I think the songs. Who's it produced by?
It's produced by Coalition.
Yeah, I don't, once again, names I haven't seen before, but they produce really fucking, that beat goes in too.
They produced several songs on this album.
I think the song's been growing on me, and I've been enjoying it as I listen to this album over and over again.
I need to listen to it more. My first take on Bobby and Whitney was kind of meh. I don't really like it that much, but I'll listen to it more and see. I don't have much to say on the song because it's kind of meh for me.
But like I said, I mean, the beat, his flow's a little slow on it for me, but you know, it's still, the beat goes fucking in enough to make up for it a little bit, so it keeps the tempo going right.
Moving on to number 7, Scared, featuring On Q and Big Rube, produced by Coalition.
Coalition again.
I have no idea. I have no idea who Big Rube or On Q is, but
one of them does the hook. I'm not sure which one. I can scroll down and look. On Q does the hook, but yeah, these are two names also I didn't recognize. This was featured on, I believe I was on DJBooth.com or .net, and they said everybody needs to listen to, and it was this song because of how deep it was, and this was a fucking, like, when I heard this as the single, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of change of pace compared to Tech in the Church and the intro song. I was like, this is way different. This is fucking dope. And I was, you know, I'm personally enjoying more darker music right now, like Die This Way by Hopsin. So this was a good also one to listen to. So I was also enjoying the fuck out of this one.
Yeah, as soon as you get off Die This Way, like that song I played so much it's starting to die, and then Jarren drops this and it gets even deeper and darker. I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm slumping. Scared is amazing. He gets so deep in the topics.
Like he says here,
he
says,
he
I'm
just
scared.
jumps from topic to topic too.
I'm scared my grandma gonna pass away. Any day could be her last. I tell her stay strong and fuck what the doctors say. He says, I'm scared that God don't exist. I'm scared of that dark place I used to reside when I ain't got shit. And he also, like I said, he also mentions his grandmother, which I'm not sure if this is like something to be aware of, but I just find it, he also mentions it on, what was it? I think it was on Miss. It was one of them. And he kind of mentions how, like, he hung out with his grandma a lot. It's also prevalent because of the name of the album, the one he did. Like, I feel like, you know, he's going to go through something similar to Tech when Tech lost his mom. Like, I feel like if his grandma, if something happens to his grandma, you might see a little bit more darker shit too. Especially because, like, his homie died and he put out an EP. His grandma died. Who knows what's going to happen? It's a very similar vibe to see what's going to happen.
He could come out with some extremely dark and deep album, which would be dope. But yeah, I was kind of getting that same vibe where how Tech went through with his mom. Because like you said, he mentions his grandmother a lot.
And he even mentions on, like, one of the songs, he's like, he said he popped like a drug or something just to deal with life or something like that. And he was like, yeah, man, like you can tell, like, he's just struggling to get through. And that's why I think it came out through the writing process, is because he was just trying to vent into it. And you really get the feeling that you're, like, getting just him sitting there writing through like a diary half the time. And especially this song,
and I love
this is
how
what
he
you get
doesn't like sugarcoat anything. He just says it. He just puts it out there. Like, this is it. This is what I'm going through, and I'm letting y'all in, and it's dope.
He even mentions he's scared he's gonna fuck up his kids psychologically, and he mentions his kids on Miss also about what it's like when he's on the road. And you know, a lot of the themes come back around. Like, this is definitely one of the albums you'll listen to a couple times, and you'll catch up on his family. you'll catch up on the links to Funk Volume. You'll catch up on like a bunch of his deal is just his alcohol and drug issues, like and shit like that. And you also see you'll catch different ways that he's trying to cope with all of the problems in his life, with chicks and that shit. Like how it all comes together, and you get the full picture of a real person.
Yeah.
That's good.
Number
That's a good
8,
one.
My
Write that one down.
World.
That was really good.
Produced by Justice League and Royce Music Group.
Did not expect to see Justice
My
League.
World
man.
is yeah, and My World's really short, but damn, he gets deep in it. Once again, My World, he starts off talking about Hop went his own way, Dizzy stuck with Dame, and I'm doing me. Immediately starts off with that. Then he goes into his drug and women and how his life is on the road, talking about his addiction and fucking with his kids, stuff like that. It's a deep song, and I really like it. I like My World.
Like a couple things, like right here he says, I want to give y'all me, but these dudes just want a schizo. I think that's also a reference to they want more songs like Schizo. However, on this album, it's everywhere, which is
I think he also
find a good
says in this song, middle finger up to the 17-year-old kid who says,
who thinks that
Drake and a
Kendrick
couple other
Cole
mainstream
and Drake
dudes
are the only ones spinning. Don't be a fucking sheep.
Yes.
I love that line. That's a great fucking line, man.
Love
it's a great
that
one.
line. Love that line.
Yeah, man, it's really fucking good. I mean, it's just really fucking good, man.
It's a really fucking good song. It's short, but
it gets the message across.
It gets the message across, yes, in one verse. Number 9 is Dark Roads, produced by Coalition. Featuring Serene. How do you say her last name?
I don't know.
Dominguez? I don't know how you pronounce her last name. But Dark Roads is my favorite song off the album so far. I really love Dark Roads. I love the topic matter. The hook is fucking amazing. The beat's really good. The first time I heard this song, at the start of the beat, I instantly thought of Aquelio. I thought of Free by Aquelio because of the way the beat starts off.
Yeah, it's like a similar
I immediately thought of that, and I think that's why I like the song so much, because I immediately thought of Aquelio, and Aquelio does like darker stuff like that. And I love Dark Roads. I love the talk matter, talking about, his partying and drugs and life on the road. It's a really good song.
I'm not sure if it was a coincidence or what, but the first time I heard this song, I was driving at night, so I thought that. So you definitely get the vibe of the song that it wants to give out, and it's a bass heavy song too, so that helps.
Yes.
Building off of it, and just from and then the hook is really fucking good. She kills the hook, great fucking hook, and then he comes and delivers great verses and stays deep, and that's exactly what makes it a great song.
I love the hook. Love that hook. The verses are extremely deep. Like I said, my favorite song off the album so far. That's the one I've been listening to the most. Number 10 is Distant, featuring The Weird One, produced by Coalition. And I like Distant. I'm not one for those type of songs, but I like Distant. Just like like Knight in Shining Armor, those type of songs. I mean, I'm not one to listen to those songs, but Distant I really like. He did it right in Distant, talking about how him and his girl are distant now and they don't, and it's talking about, it's him being always on the road, never giving her the attention she needs, always doing shit, always coming high and drunk, shit like that. It's a really good song. The hook was kind of meh for me though. The hook was kind of meh. I didn't really like the hook. Definitely wasn't as good as Dark Roads, but I ain't got no beef with Distant. I thought it was a good song.
Who produced Distant?
Coalition.
And they produced the previous track too?
Yes, they also produced Dark Roads.
Like I said, Coalition, man, they produce their ass off. Whoever he is, they are, man, like they give out good vibe. Like whenever I hear Coalition, it's a sample at the start of the song, I'm like, I know this shit's gonna go in. And I don't know if it was the beat or what it was, but Jarren didn't slow his flow down like he did on the second track on the album. So that's another reason why these songs are still really good, even though a little more deeper and shit, is he's still flowing properly and everything goes together properly so that it is good to the ear. And it helps listening to it over and over again to catch the subject matter. Because that's how I listen to music, is I usually listen by ear at the start, and then by repetition I memorize what he's saying. and so that helps the album. And these two songs, the way they flow off of each other, reminds me a shit ton. Here's what I wanted to tell you. They remind me an absolute shit ton of A Certain Comfort and Burn It Down, because they both have guest hooks. One has a chick singing like Kate Rose on Certain Comfort, and the other one has a dude singing like on Burn It Down. Certain Comfort was about how he was going down a certain, finding a lightness on the dark path or a dark road.
Yeah.
They're very similar.
I didn't even think about that.
I wouldn't even
That's
be
very
surprised if
interesting.
this inspired it. I wouldn't even be surprised. It gave me such a vibe.
Now that you bring that up, I can see that. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
It's
that.
a dude singing the hook, more poppy style hook on the one that Ryan Bradley, like completely similar. Except the subject matter is a little different compared to Burn It Down, but however, A Certain Comfort subject matter is very similar. So, I'm just saying. And we know Jarren probably does listen to Attack, so I'm just saying it probably inspired him a little bit. So, and it gave me such a vibe, man. And also, once again, Coalition produced it, Seven produced those two tracks. I mean, all good beats. So, I liked it.
Yeah, and I'm not joking when I say this album really does get you emotionally. Some of these songs really do get you, man. Like the first time I ever heard Dark Road, I was like, damn, this song really is a roller coaster ride. Or this album. Each song is, I don't know how to explain. I mean, it all flows together back to back. Like these songs really, he put the songs in order very well, and they go after another really well, and it's a roller coaster ride each time you listen to a song. Number 11 is Putting On, produced by Rocket Main.
Rocket
And
Main.
I like this song as well. I said Rocket Main.
Rock and Main.
Oh,
so
Rock
the
and...
song starts out, Hopsin said fuck the label, Dizzy he stuck with Dame, Swizz working on the album, and me, bitch, I'm still insane. I mean,
dope
that's
fucking line.
I mean, that just tells you. I mean, like it's still like it's referenced shit tons throughout the album, and you'll hear something referenced about it. And he also and then he, real simply, he just explains what's going on in the label right there with 4 bars.
Mm-hmm. 4 fucking bars.
And the next lines he goes, popped a few pills to deal with the pain. Like that's what I referenced a couple of songs ago. What I was talking about. So.
Yeah, he says that he words it different, but he says something along that lines in a few songs on this album, talking about drinking or popping pills to get through life. But I really like Putting On. The hook was really good. The topic matter's really good. The beat once again go in. I mean, like Aaron said, he gets so much across on this album in just a couple words. I mean, just like those 4 bars get so much across. Just like in My World, in a couple lines he gets a point across. I mean, that song's only like 2 minutes and something seconds. Like, he wastes no time telling you what's going down.
Yep.
12 is Anarchy, featuring Earth Gang, produced by Kato. And enough said. I mean, we can just go ahead and go on to the next song if you want.
I remember
Anarchy
when this shit
dude.
came out. This shit's old too. It came out fucking like a year ago. Well, my bad. It says here release track March 9th. It feels like a year ago apparently, but I remember hearing it. I think I had a music video too, if I remember correctly. I didn't fucking like it, and I still don't fucking like it. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna go deeper into. I didn't care for the song. I didn't know who the fuck Earth Gang was. I didn't like it. And then is this the song where they got that crazy effect over fucking Jarren's voice? Is this the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I think it.
I fucking hated that shit too.
I haven't heard it in so long, so I think it is. But I didn't like Anarchy.
No, he didn't have an effect.
I did not like it at all.
Did he? No, he didn't. My bad. I was thinking something else. but
I did not like Anarchy. So that's enough said about that. Number 13 is Lost Kings.
Had the effect on it.
Featuring Micah Freeman, produced by 8-Track.
So this was one of the songs that was released. Well, this says here this is the 3rd single of Jarren's EP Black October. I don't remember that EP. I'm going to do some research. But yeah, he put out a bunch of songs last year, and this was one of them that was put out when Funk William was doing some hype for him. So this is an older song. This is a song I used to listen to on my other phone, and I'm not sure it could be on it. This is the song where I think it's the 2nd verse where he talks about here where he says I'm guilty. He talks about we scared of
this
our
is
own,
a song
so
where
we
he goes
sleep
real
with
deep
guns under the
on,
pillows. and ADT
Yeah,
alarms.
yeah.
They don't mean no harm, and I'm guilty of it too. I profiled dudes like, what is this dude doing? Damn, he looking shady. Is he casing my crib while I'm clutching the 380? Meanwhile, he's just trying to find the local gymnasium, and we assume the worst and we plant these seeds in our cranium. That's the same mind frame that got Trayvon, and we didn't think shit about the bitch when she was selling Avon. It's a really good fucking lines. I really liked it. I liked getting his perspective on something like this, and it's always been a line that stuck with me. I literally referenced it fucking days ago when we were talking about something else in the news. So, and then he also
like I
goes,
said, once again, he wastes no time getting his point across.
and a little more socially conscious in this one too, because he goes on and talks about meanwhile the African population decreasing over bullshit and disease, hunger and shit. That's meaningless. That's weird. The most hated and feared. Open your third eye. There's something going on here. Slavery mind state still controlling most of y'all head. Ask Malcolm, when you wake from the Matrix, they want you dead. I mean, like, I didn't expect to hear this shit from him, and I was really glad he said it, and it surprised me how fucking good Jarren was, on how much extra depth he brought to this EP. Because there's other sprinkles throughout the album. I'm blanking on them, but there's other good examples.
Yeah, was not expecting that depth. He goes into such detail about black on black violence, like the bars you referenced. I didn't think that Jarren had that shit in him, honestly.
Yeah, it was this one too. He
like
says
that.
He says the fact is pigs murdering black kids, and scroll up. And he says, and black kids murdering black kids. Hey, where's the value in that? It's like we don't see no value in black. A fatherless habitat moving vials of that crack. Once again, really good lines, and like something similar you'd see from fucking something Priceless may even say. So that was really fucking dope.
Yeah.
I remember now. I didn't realize Funk Volume put out the Black October. I remember when the 4 songs came out for Jarren. I listened to all 4 of them and shit, so I'm not a bum. I actually do remember this. I just didn't realize Funk Volume sold it.
I got an vibe from several of the songs.
Yep.
But, I mean, enough said. I mean, he pretty much covered it all. It's a dope song.
It's a great song.
It's a great song. And it's good to see Jarren doing socially conscious stuff. Like, it's always trying to find the best way to word it. It's like you have rappers like Mortal Technique that are always socially conscious, and then you have rappers like Tech or Jarren who most of the time they ain't socially conscious, but when they do socially conscious songs, they do them really well. Like with Tech 9 and Oh Yeah from Special Effects, that song was amazing. Like when they do socially conscious songs, it's really well done, and they spit some dope shit on those songs. I love hearing those songs from rappers who aren't always socially conscious. Number 14 is Tech in the Church featuring Locksmith and Joyner Lucas. Produced by Matic Lee.
Matic fucking Lee, man. It's a Strange Music fucking OG right there, motherfuckers. He's the one that produced Laugh. He produced Say No More. I'm looking at the Rap Genius production list. Where is it? He originally produced Red Nose. That's what got me sucking. Was it Red Nose? Wait, don't quote me. Wait, double check this. But anyways, I'll give you the clarification. Maybe he didn't produce it. But Matic Lee's a great producer. I read a fucking blog he had too about how he produces and shit. Like I was really bored one night and I found him and shit. That was really cool. And this one's featuring Joyner Lucas and Locksmith. I'll start off with Joyner Lucas's verse because he goes on a tangent talking about some chick out of Google. Like I'm not even sure who the fuck that chick was until I Googled it, and then I still didn't really. This Karen Civil chick, and I don't know. I don't really have nothing to say about that issue. I'm not really sure. I always find it funny though because he's like Hillary Clinton ain't gonna be happy she's standing next to a serpent, and I was like, yeah, that's Hillary Clinton standing next to Hillary Clinton in a mirror. I was like, oh, got him. That's my joke, by the way. I've been working on that one. And
I wrote that one down.
Yeah. Locksmith dropped a dope fucking verse. The hero, like the end line where he's like,
Dude, that fucking end line, man, that shit was amazing.
He says, Dice Game's in the basement repping our turf, bumping strange. So I guess you could say we had a tech in the church. I mean,
the line is amazing.
Dope. Yeah,
that was dope. I couldn't say enough about that line. You can ask Aaron. A couple days ago, I was dick writing that line.
It's a great fucking line. I'm just surprised you finally heard it. This song's been out for a while. This was like a single. And I, like, this was a fucking dope single. The beat is amazing. It's matically producing it. Jarren drops a fucking dope verse. Mentions Hopsin again all at the start of it. Where's what he says? Hopsin put me on this bitch. I wish you the best, fam. He put this out. Does it say the date? No, it doesn't. But yeah, it's been out for a hot second. But it's been fucking heat, man.
That song is heat. I listened to it when it first came out, but I never really gave it a chance. I listened to it like once. I never downloaded it, and then that was it. But once this album came out, and I
Won't you
listened
see
to it, I was like,
Locksmith,
damn, Attack of the
man?
Church is actually really good.
Man, you should have the moment you saw Locksmith go. Yep. And yeah, Matically did produce Red Nose according to Wikipedia. So I was right. Don't question me. I'm a god. I thought so. I have a hard on for Matically. Man, he produced Sorry and Shit, Dysfunctional, Far Away, which is a great fucking beat. He also produced, like I said, Red Nose, which is like a fucking fire-ass beat. Like, Matically, great fucking producer, man. Great fucking producer.
Moving on to number 15 is Aluminum Bat featuring Pounds and Chris Rivers, produced by Analogic again.
Not sure.
And Aluminum Bat is dope
Beat
as
goes
fuck.
in.
The beat
Beat
is
goes in.
amazing. I love that beat. Aaron's all up on that Chris Rivers dick, so I'll let you talk about his
So
verse.
Chris Rivers, I mean, I only heard the verse like twice now, so I can't go into the detail of the lyric. I mean, hit me back after listening to the album 1,000 times for another album review. If anybody made it this far, I mean, I could do it again, but because I agree with Tech Nine that you should wait to do an album review after you live with it. So this isn't really album review; it's more of a first listen review. But I've heard it a shit ton. But album's so fucking good that I want everybody to hear it. So I'll put my credibility on the line at the risk of you actually listening to it. So I feel like it's a good trade-off. You go, Aaron, are you sure you should be reviewing this album? And I'll go, I'm sure you should be listening to this album. So that's how that goes. But yeah, Chris Rivers is a fucking beast. Ever since I heard him spitting on that song with Right Hook recently, and I heard Chris, I hear him off and on throughout the place. He worked with someone else recently. It was fucking dope. Chris Rivers is a fucking beast. I hope he starts working with more underground dudes and gets them on his projects, because I saw Chris Rivers put out a mixtape the other like a month or two ago and didn't have any good features, so I didn't really go, man, I'll wait to listen to him. Chris Rivers can fucking rap though, man. Like, he's really fucking good. He's gonna live up to the shadow of his. I mean, I don't even have to mention it, but he might live up to to his father. So that's fucking dope as shit. And then, what was it? And then the beat goes fucking in, man. I love the way
The beat is amazing.
Beat goes so hard, man.
The beat is so
insane,
fucking
man.
good. The production on this whole fucking album was amazing.
Yeah,
But damn,
Jarren's
that
always
beat
had a
is
good.
good.
Jarren's always had a really good ear for beats, and it just shines here too, man. Like his like all of his beats have usually been like top notch, and so it shines here. This song's fucking beat goes hard too. I have to listen to Pound's verse maybe once, but I always skip it, so that's just me.
And then the final track on the album is Miss You, produced by Static Selecta.
You don't even know who that is, do you?
No, not really.
That's funny. I didn't realize that was a Static Selecta beat. Now that you mention it, though, now I guess it does. Once again, like he got wait, what was it? He got Matically, Static Selecta, what was it? Dilate. What was their names? Dilated people. What was it? Those
Coalition.
The Coalition. My bad.
Analogic,
Fucking and what was the other one? There was another one. He got fucking Kato on it. There was another
M16.
M16. Like he got Justice League was the other one. He got fucking production from everywhere. Like, so the fact that this one's Static Selecta shouldn't even surprise me at this point. And this was another great song. Each verse is talking about different stuff. The second one was about talking about hip hop and his love for it, and how and it was also his hate for it right now, and how shitty the current state of the game is and shit. And that was a really dope verse. Here, what are the other two verses about?
The first verse is about his family while he's on the road.
More throwback to that Distance song. Somewhat.
Yeah, how he misses his family while he's on the road. He's always thinking about them. And then the third verse is talking about starts off the verse by saying he understands how it must feel for people to lose their kids or their best friend.
Really deep line.
Shit like that. Really deep.
I listened to that on the way to work today.
He said, uh, how they go exactly? Like,
I don't remember. I only listened to the
damn,
song
that
like
shit
twice.
must hit like a Mack truck. How do you
Yeah,
get the power to stand up or stand back up or something like that? Really good line.
really good, man. It's really deep, and it's a good way to end the album too, man. Like, really fucking good, man. I mean, you get that at the intro, you got him spitting really hard, and the last song on the album, produced by Static Selecta, over here spitting real deep and emotional shit. And I was like, it's really telling. Like, that's hopefully a good sign of what Jarren Benton is to come, man. Like, this is really fucking dope, and I'm hoping we get to see a lot more of Jarren Benton being great.
A lot more shit like this. Yes, absolutely.
I'll say this album took me by surprise a lot, like Ritz's album, man. If this is Jarren Benton from here on out, like a great rapper, I think this might put him into the top tier category. I've always seen him as like the second tier rapper. I always seen him like under Hopsin's shadow, and I think even Jarren saw it at like that because he mentioned that before. But I think if this is what Jarren's gonna be, if he can get on people's verses and just keep spitting hard, and keep working with like top tier artists like Ari the Rugged Man and Locksmith and Vinny Paz and shit like that. If he keeps working with top tier dudes, I think this will keep him this will move him up to the top tier.
Yeah, I can totally agree with you. He does his darker, like the darker tone of this album is just amazing. Like I said, he wastes no time getting his point across. He's got some deep fucking songs. The lines are amazing. His album's really good. Like I said, if this is Jarren for the next, the rest of his career, we're gonna be in for a time because, like you said, we don't know what we could get if his grandmother dies or something like that. We could get some really dark stuff, and that'll be interesting. It'll be like a blast from the past with KOD.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this album reminds me a lot of
You
Ritz's
never.
album,
I mean,
how it was
now
up and
seeing
down
what
and
Jarren
shit.
can do with with like an album like this, now seeing what he can do, there's no telling what we could get from here on out.
Yeah,
There's no telling what the next album could be.
This one really surprised me. Like, I can't stress this enough. I mean, like I said, I listened to Jarren. I was like 2 years ago. I listened to Free Basin and Hasselhoff back like constantly. I listened to it and I got used to that as Jarren Benton. And with this now, it's kind of changed my perspective on him a lot. And this is fucking dope. And I'm really happy about that, to be him changing who I always thought he was. So it's fucking dope. It's really surprising, and I don't really witness shit like this. How often do you change your mind about a rapper after an album drops?
Not very often.
So,
I mean, this is like a complete change on what I
yeah,
think.
I mean, this ain't fucking
phenomenal.
This is very different than fucking. I mean, like I think I follow him on Facebook, and someone said to him like, "You don't do deep shit." And he listed all the songs where he talked about deep shit. But I don't think it was ever as deep as this. And that's usually this. This is a prime example.
Out of the albums I have heard from him, this is the deepest I've ever heard him go on topics.
I think it's a prime example of when artists say they want to do their next album as their best work and it's bigger and better. I think this is legit bigger and better. I think this is fucking really good.
Yeah, Jarren said in the interview I saw from before this album dropped, he said he hates it when rappers say this, but this is his album where he really feels like he matured, and it definitely shows.
Yes, all right. Well, if he said it, then that's fine. Yeah, because like that's what it felt like, and it is a cliche to usually say like, "Oh, it's my best album." Or,
yeah, he said he can't.
Tech says that for every fucking album.
I'm saying this.
Tech says it for every fucking album. I'm used to, because I watch like as much Tech shit as I could. Like, he says it for every fucking album. This is the biggest and the best, and Seven's doing this, and Seven's jerking me off in a closet. Like, oh, that's gonna make the album sound better, of course. Seven's crazy like that. But seriously though, it was a fucking
Jarren
dope.
said he hates it when people say that it's corny, but he said this is the album he feels like he really saw change and he matured. And
one final question for you. Tell me, do you noticed, right, the difference between Jarren rapping and his voice in interviews, right? You notice that?
Yes, absolutely.
His voice is so deep. His voice is so deep in the real life. I was like, holy shit, dude.
And then he raps, and like even at the start of slow motion, he's like, Jarren, what you man, dog?
His voice is so fucking deep, man. In interviews, it blows me away. I'm like, oh, is that the same guy? Like, it's never more prevalent than in like Jarren. There's a couple rappers.
In interviews.
There's a couple rappers where you hear their voice in interviews, and it's like, is that the same guy? But Jarren's definitely one of them. I'm like, what the fuck?
Jarren's definitely one of them. His voice deep as fuck. Like I said, he gets on songs, and his voice way high pitched compared to interviews. It sounds like two different fucking people.
But I mean, you got any final points?
I mean, we never talked about the hook on "Miss You," but there's not much to talk about. I guess it does its purpose. It ain't nothing special. It's just the same 4 words over and over again, which I don't prefer those types of hooks, but yeah. What would you rate the albums right now?
Too soon, too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon. But this has been Gangster 7 with Jarren Benton album review.
And VS Hero.
And thanks for watching.
Fuck you, Kato.